going to talk about construction. When it comes to doing construction, you're only allowed to use a straight edge and a compass. The straight edge can have no markings on it, just straight. Okay. So the first basic construction is to copy a line segment. How do you copy a line segment? Somebody gives you a line segment. It's exactly that long, from A to B. How do you copy it? Well, with your straight edge, you draw a straight line. And you call some point, we'll call it A prime. Now you take your compass and you put the needle right here, and you open it up to that distance, and you put a mark there. Do the same here. Put the compass needle here, and keeping the same opening as above, draw an arc that crosses the line. And this is B prime. The distance between A prime and B prime is the same as the distance from A to B. And that's how you construct a line. Right? Again, you're given a line segment, call it XY, and you want to copy it. Draw any old line with your straight edge. Let it be at least as big, or let it be bigger than what XY appears to be. Call the left end point, if you prefer, X or X prime. Put your compass needle here, open it up to that distance to cross that Y. Or just open it up to Y. And then keeping that same opening, put your compass needle at X prime and open it up and cross the other line. Call that point Y prime. These two lines, same exact lengths. So that's how you construct or copy a line segment. How do you copy a line segment? That way. The next thing we're going to talk about is how do you copy an angle? So you have this angle right here. You want to copy it. Well, the first thing you do is you draw a line, any old line. And then with your compass, you do two things. Well, first, you open it up to any length. Say this length. And then you cross there. Okay, and you do the same thing down here. Then you put your compass needle here and you open it up so the pencil touches this point right here, the point of intersection between this line and the arc that we just drew a minute ago. Just open it up to, again, put it here and open it up to that point. Well, do the same thing on the bottom. Put the compass needle here, keeping the same opening we just had from above. Put an arc that crosses that line, that arc. And this is the point that we are concerned about. With your straight edge, connect the two dots. Okay, let's do it again. You are given some angle and you want to construct it. Well, first draw any old line. Okay, now put the compass needle here. Open it to any length you want and do like that. Put the compass needle here, keeping the same opening. Do like that. Now, put your compass needle right here. And open it up long enough so the pencil is right there. The pencil is right there. Keep in that same opening. Put the compass needle here and draw an arc that crosses the last arc. And the point of intersection between the two arcs is of most importance. Now, using your straight edge, draw a line from this point to that point. There it is. Remember, angles don't care how long the lines are. That's not of importance right now. If you want it to be exactly the same length, well, put your compass needle at A, open it up so it goes out to B. Put your compass needle at A prime, open it up. Maybe it crosses there. At that point, you erase the excess. And you do the same thing to go from A to C. Put your compass at A, open it up until it touches at C, and do the same thing. Put your compass at A prime, open it up, it crosses at C, erase the excess. But that wasn't what this was about. It was just to copy an angle. If you use a protractor, you will see that those two angles are the same, regardless of how long the lines are. That's the second basic construction. The third one is to bisect an angle. Here is an angle. I want to bisect it. I want to do this to it. Except that wasn't a good example because that didn't look like the middle. I want to bisect this angle. Okay, so how do we do this? The answer is very easily. What you do is you put your compass needle here, open up to some distance, and put an arc. You want to draw the arc all the way, draw it all the way. Me, I don't need it all the way. I just want to see where it crosses those two lines. Okay. Now, I put my compass needle here, and I open it up to some distance. Just kind of make sure it's long enough to touch that line. So you put your compass needle here, you open it up, and you do like that. Keeping the same exact opening. Now put your compass needle here and put an arc. And you say, oh look, I was off a little bit. This point of intersection and this vertex, use your straight edge, connect the two dots. You just bisected the angle. Once again, you're given an angle, say that angle, put the compass needle here, open it to any length. You know, I wouldn't open it to that length. Give yourself some working room. Get those 2 points. They came from that circle. Compasses draw circles. Okay. Now, kind of have an idea where the center is. Put your compass needle here and open up to, put it here. Open it to some distance. Now, if you open it too little, you'll get that. You come here and you'll get that. They don't intersect. Kind of have in your mind where you think the bisector line would go. And then when you open up your compass needle, make sure that after putting the needle at that point that it will cross that imaginary line that you have in your head. Now put the compass needle here. Keeping the same opening that we just had, go like that. And where those two arcs intersect, that's going to be a point on the angle bisector. And of course, that vertex is going to be a point on the angle bisector. Just connect the two dots with your straight edge. We bisected an angle. Just for the record, what I'm about to say is well beyond the scope of this course, but you cannot trisect any angle. You cannot trisect just any old angle. If you have a 270-degree angle, you can trisect it. Through this point, using your straight edge, just extend it. Through this point again, extend it. 90, 90, and 90. I trisected it. But you can't trisect any old angle. Just some very special ones. Like a 100-degree angle, you can trisect it. The next one is given a line segment to draw the perpendicular bisector. And to draw the perpendicular bisector, again, have an idea where it is. Even if you're off just a little bit, just have an idea where it is. Okay, put your compass needle here and open it up so it will, and draw it off so that it will touch across the perpendicular bisector. Do it twice. Once above and once below. Keeping the same opening. Do the same at that point. Go like this. Go like that. Where these two arcs intersect, put a dot. Where these two arcs intersect, put a dot. With your straight edge, connect the dots. That red line cut the black line into two equal parts, and it is a right angle. How do I know this? Well, this point here is the same distance from A and B. Think about how we constructed it. We didn't, okay, and it's the same distance. Oh, so that means the base angles are equal. Trying to figure out how I'm going to convince you that there's right angles. These two sides are the same in the left triangle and the right one. Well, actually, we never really showed yet that those were equal. Okay, so what we have is we have an isosceles triangle, two isosceles triangles. Oh, the big one's isosceles. The left one, number 1, they have two corresponding sides, and they have one pair of corresponding sides, actually two, and it has an angle, a corresponding angle. Well, trust me, It's a perpendicular bisector. I don't see why it is that way right now. So again, this is an easy one and it's a fun one. Given a line segment, how do you draw the perpendicular bisector? Put your compass needle at A. Again, kind of have an idea where it'll be. If you open up your compass needle and you go like this and you go like that, and then you keep the same opening and you go to B and you go like this, you go like that, they're not going to intersect. So have an idea where the perpendicular bisector is. Even if you're off a little bit, when you draw, put your compass needle at A, draw an arc, make your arc big, so in case you're off a little bit, it'll cover you. Keeping the same opening, put the needle at B, open your arc, top and bottom, where those two arcs intersected in the bottom and the top. So notice, I was off a little bit, but that's not a big deal. I drew my arcs a little bit longer, and with my straight edge, I go like that. And you could, again, this line that I'm erasing now, this was just in your mind. It was never really drawn. And you cut the line in half. You cut AB into 2 equal parts, and you have right angles here. It's a perpendicular bisector. Okay. Suppose you have a line segment AB and P is on it, and all you want to do is draw a perpendicular line at P. Okay, so just to have a little bit more space, I'm going to extend it. Okay. So you have line segment AB and you have point P. By no means am I saying P is the midpoint of AB. But I need it to be the midpoint of something. So what you do is you put your compass needle at P, open it to any length, and go like this and go like that. Now P is dead in the midpoint of those 2 red points. And now we do like we did before. Draw the perpendicular bisector. Through this red point on the left, open up your compass needle. Put your compass needle at the red point, open it up, and make sure you put an arc above P and an arc below P. Keeping the same opening, put it at the other red mark, the compass needle. And keeping the same opening, don't draw just this arc, but draw it so it crosses the other arc. Same at the bottom. The points of intersection of the 2 arcs, for each pair of the arcs, 2 arcs, draw, connect the dots, and you drew a perpendicular line. It might be, not might, it is the midpoint of C and D, but C and D were never part of this line. We just had A and D. So all I asked was, given a line segment AB and P is on the line, draw a perpendicular line through P. And we did. And like always, we do it again. You don't even have to pause the video. or rewind the video. Here's line segment AB, and here is point P. Go to point P, open the compass needle, not so long that you go beyond B, but so it stays within A and B. Keeping the same opening, draw an arc here and an arc here. And where those two arcs intersected the line, those are key points. Go to the left red mark, open the compass needle. So put the compass needle at the red mark, open it up long enough so when you draw an arc above the line, it will be above P, and do the same below. Now, don't adjust the opening, keep the same opening. Go to the other red mark. Put the compass needle there, draw your arc above, below. You're pretty much done now. Take your ruler, make sure your straight edge, make sure it touches that point, and then draw a straight line. This red line is perpendicular to AB. It's not the bisector, but it's perpendicular. Okay, so now we're going to do the same thing again. That is, you have a line segment AB, and you have a point P. But this time P is off the line. P is up there. But you want to draw a perpendicular line. That is, you want to draw that line. But not by visual inspection, by hardball technology. Using your compass and straight edge. Has to be exact. None of this, while it looks like that, no, has to be exact. So you put your compass needle here, you open it up long enough so you get an arc down here. These are the key points. Alright. Now, you put your compass needle here and open it up long enough so it touches there. And then do the same down here. Put your compass needle at this point. Open it up enough so the pencil is on P. You don't even have to draw the arc. Just make sure the pencil goes out to P. Keeping the same opening, come down here. There is your perpendicular line. You want to draw longer, go for it. Okay. Again, you have a line segment AB, and you have a point above or even below. The point P is below. Put your compass needle at P and do like that. These are the points that are important to us. C and D. Go to put your compass needle at C and the pencil mark at P. Do this, draw an arc above. Put it at C and draw an arc. Now do the same thing at point D. In fact, you won't have to change the opening because it's going to cross right at P. And then do the same thing up here. Connect the two dots. Doesn't look very perpendicular, but it's because I'm not using a compass. Okay, that is how you draw a perpendicular line. Given a line and a point off the line, how you draw the perpendicular. The next thing we're going to talk about is, let's see, how do you draw two parallel lines? You're given a line and you want to draw one parallel to it. That's the game now. Given a line, you want to draw a line parallel to it. So you're given this line, you want to draw a line parallel to it. Let's see. The first thing you do is, and say you want to draw the line, the parallel line, to cross that one, to cross point P. So you are given a line and a point P off the line, and you want to draw a line parallel to it. Well, what you do is you draw any old line that crosses P and the given line. And basically, you want to construct that angle up here. You want to get the same angle. But we've already done that. How do you construct an angle? Well, you put the compass needle here, and you go like that, and you come up here, and you go like that. Then you put the compass needle here, and you open it enough so it crosses here. That is, you get that arc. Do the same up here. Put the compass needle here, open it up so it crosses that other arc. Where they intersected, connect the two lines, the two dots. These two lines are parallel. Those two lines are parallel. All I did was reconstruct this angle right here. That's all I did. And since this line is the same for both of these angles, then these lines have to be parallel. Let's try that again. If you're given a line and a point off the line, you want to draw through P, you want to draw a line parallel to the one given. So you just cut it with a transversal. But that line that I just drew, it has to cross P and hit the other line. So basically, I want to reconstruct that angle. Well, put the compass needle here and go like that. Put the compass needle here and go like that. Now, put the compass needle here and open it enough so it touches, the pencil touches right there. You can draw that off if you want. Put the compass needle here and draw their same arc. And that's the point of interest. Connect the two dots with a straight line using your straight edge, and you can now say, without a shadow of a doubt, that those two lines parallel. These two lines are definitely parallel. They may not look it because I'm not using a straight edge nor a compass, but they're parallel in theory. Now, here's a very cool thing. I like this one. Suppose you have this line segment from A to B, and you want to break it up into equal intervals, 5 equal intervals, or 7, or 29. for our problem C3, I wanted to divide AB into 3 equal parts. So what I do is through A, I draw any old line. And then I open my compass to some distance. I put the needle at A, and I put a mark here. I put my compass needle here now. I put a mark there. Don't change the openings in your compass. Put your needle there and put an arc. Well, what I will say is, for whatever it's worth, these 3 line segments are equal. So what I want to do is, through this point, am I using my straight edge, I go right to B. Now, basically, here's the strategy. Through this point, I want to draw a line parallel to the red one I just drew, namely that one. And then through here, through this point, I want to draw a line parallel to the other 2. And it's going to turn out that those 3 distances are in fact equal. Well, the whole question is, how do you get those last 2 red lines? Well, we just did this. Basically, I have this line. In my mind, all I have is this line and that point. And through that point, I want to draw a parallel line. Okay, so you could, or I want to get that same angle. That's probably easier. So through this point right here, I draw this arc. Through this point, I draw an arc. Then I go to this point right here, and I draw that arc. Make sure it intersects. And I do the same over here. I put my compass needle here, and I draw my little arc. And then where they intersect, this dot and this dot go like such. And now, through this last point, I want to either copy this angle or this angle. Which one you copy doesn't matter. They're both the same. Let's copy the second one. So how we copy it is, I put my compass needle here, and something's bothering me. Okay, first, I put my compass needle here, and then I draw this arc. I do the same thing here. And then, I put my compass needle here, and I draw that arc. Notice that it crossed. And then I do the same thing. I put my compass needle here, and I draw. Okay, so why is this not working? I just did it. Alright, let us try it again. Let us try this again. My goal is to copy this arc. And I do have this point. Okay, so I put my compass needle here, and then I'm going to put it here. When I put it here, I draw some arc. I put my compass needle here, I draw an arc. Then I put my needle here, and I open it up to that distance. And I do that. And I do the same thing at this point. And right here, I draw connected 2 dots. And these 3 lines are supposedly parallel. Let's try this again. Which is pretty neat. So you could divide any lengths into 3 equal portions. Now, I'll show you a neat trick. I actually learned this when I was in junior high school in shop. Suppose you have a square, a sheet of paper, and for one reason or another, you want to divide it into 5 equal pieces. Now let's suppose that this distance is 7 inches. Well, it's not easy to divide 7 by 5. If I put my ruler across, that's not very favorable. But you know what? I can put my ruler on a diagonal. So here is 0, and here is 10. And then I mark off 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. 5 equal pieces. At least they should be equal. And then I do it again. I use 10. And I go 2 inches, 4 inches. 10 divided by the 5 portions I want is 2. And now using my straight edge or ruler, I connect those X's. And I just cut this paper into 5 equal pieces, which is pretty neat in my opinion. Neat enough where I remembered this. And I'll remember this for the rest of my life. Alright, so let's try it again. I want to cut this line segment into 3 equal pieces from A to B. I want to cut it into 3 equal pieces. So you draw any old line. And then you draw 3 equal portions here. Put the compass needle at A, open it to any point, any distance. Put an arc. This point is of interest. Put your needle there. Keep in the same opening, draw another arc. Put the needle there now. Keep in the same opening, go like that. These 3 segments, this one, this one, this one, equal. Those 3 segments are equal. So this portion of the line you don't need. Go to that last point and then go to B. Using your straight edge, straight line. So right now, all I need are these 3 points and nothing else. That is, I'm going to erase these arcs. Now, call this 1, 2, and 3. 3.2, I want to draw the same angle. I want to draw that angle. Well, how do you copy an angle? Well, you put your compass needle at 3, and you go like that. Now put your compass needle at 2, and go like that. Okay, next, put your compass needle here, and open it up so it crosses where those 2 lines, and the line and the arc intersected. Keep in the same opening. Put your compass needle here and draw your arc. Right where the 2 arcs intersect, go from point 2 to that intersecting point. Draw the line. Okay, now I want to copy the angle at point 1. Okay, so again, and you can use either of these 2 angles, the angle at 2 or the angle at 3. They are the same angle. We'll use 2. Put your compass at 2, open it up to draw this arc. You want to draw a different size arc, it doesn't matter. Go to 1, draw the arc. As long as You draw the same arc, that is with the same opening at 2 and 1, it's okay. Now, put your compass needle here, open it up so it touches there. You want to draw a little arc, fine. Do the same thing at this point. Put the compass needle here, keeping the same opening we just had. Draw your arc. Where they find the point of intersection. Now just connect the two dots. In theory, this length, and this length, same length. We trisected the line segment. Now, before we go on to triangle construction, I want to show you something that we talked about earlier in the video. I can draw a line segment, and I can say that's 1 unit. This is 1 unit. From extending that line, I can draw a perpendicular line. Put my compass needle here, open it up to there, put the compass needle back here, open it there, draw an arc there. Both of these lines are 1 unit. Both of those lines are 1 unit. Using my straight edge, I can connect this. But if this is 1 unit, and this is a right angle, because we drew it perpendicular, Pythagoras will tell us that that length is square root of 2 units. I can draw a line square root of 2 units. You give me the unit, whether you call that a unit, or you call this a unit, or you call this little piece a unit, or a very, very big piece 1 unit. You give me the unit, and I'll draw square root of 2 of those, which to me was mind-boggling. I was amazed that my teacher was able to do this. Now let's see if I could get that picture going again. So we go 1, we go up 1, and now we have square root of 2. This is square root of 2. Through this point, I draw a perpendicular line of 1 unit. I know, because I have my 1 unit. Anytime I need 1 unit, I put my compass needle here, and I open the pencil mark to there. Then I put my compass needle here, and I mark it off. That's 1 unit. Well, when I connect the dots, that's square root of 3. Square root of 2, 1. When I square this, I get 2. When I square 1, I get 1. The sum is 3. Well, when I square the square root of 3, I get 3. So that's square root of 2. This is now square root of 3. Through this point, I can draw a perpendicular line. And I make it 1 unit. Well, it's going to turn out that that's square root of 4, which is not a big deal because it's 2. I can draw a line that's 2. Remember, I put my compass needle there and I open it up to here. Put my compass needle here, I open it to here, put it back here, open it again. Then I say, hey everyone, that's 2. So that's not surprising. Through this point, I go perpendicular, I make sure it's 1. That hypotenuse is going to be the square root of 5. I can draw the square root of 1. Given a unit, I can draw a unit length. I can draw the square root of 1, the square root of 2, the square root of 3, the square root of 4, the square root of 5, the square root of 6, the square root of 7, the square root of 8, and so on. I can draw all of these. And now that I know that this length is square root of 2, I can draw 2 square root of 2, 3 square root of 2, 4 square root of 2, 5 square root of 2's, etc. Now that I know this length is square root of 3, that is, this length is square root of 3. How do I draw 2 square root of 3's? Well, I draw a long line. I put my compass needle here. I mark off where square root of 3 is. Put my compass needle here. And I mark off another square root of 3. This length is 2 square root of 3's. And I can do it 3 times. 3 square root of 3, 4 square root of 3, 5 square root of 3's, etc. And of course, I can draw square root of 2 and square root of 3. I can draw square root of 5. And I can draw 2 of them, or 3 of them, or 4 of them, etc. But you know what? It doesn't end there. It does not end there. I can draw any 2. I can add 2 of these. I can even subtract them. I can add 2 of them. In other words, I now know that this is 3 square roots of 5's. And I know that this length is 5 square roots of 2's. Well, I can draw a line segment that is 3 square root of 5 plus 5 square root of 2. I put my compass needle here, and I mark off that length. Put my compass needle here, and I mark off that length. From here to here is 3 square root of 2's. Now I put my compass needle here, and I mark off 5 square root of 2's. I put my compass needle here again, keeping the same opening. I mark off 5 square root of 2's. From point A to point B will be 3 square root of 5 plus 5 square root of 2's. 3 square root of 5 plus 5 square root of 2's. And of course, I can now add on 5 square root of 3's. Because I have that length, it's that long, compass needle here, pencil crosses there. Compass needle at B, cross here. From B to C, 5 square root of 3's. Now from A to C will be 3 square root of 5's plus 5 square root of 2's plus 5 square root of 3. Now, I claim that I can do differences. I can draw the difference. I can draw square root of 3 minus square root of 2. Well, I know I can draw square root of 3. I mean, after all, oops, why did that happen? After all, there it is. That's square root of 3. And I said a number of times that I can draw the square root of any number. Okay, so for argument's sake, this is square root of 2, this length, and that's square root of 3. Okay. So I draw a line, put A here, compass needle here, pencil at the end. Put the compass needle at A, draw my arc, that's B. From A to B is square root of 3. Now, I put my compass needle here, so this whole distance, square root of 3. Put my compass needle here, put my pen mark there. I put my compass needle at A, and I mark off this. What I now know is that's square root of 2. So the balance must be square root of 3 minus the square root of 2. I can draw this minus that. I can draw this minus this. I can draw any of those differences. In fact, assuming that it's not going to be negative, well, let's make sure. I know I can draw square root of 11. I can draw square root of 11 minus square root of 3 minus square root of 2. How can I do that? Well, I can draw square root of 11. That's square root of 11. This part is square root of 2. This part is square root of 3. The balance is the square root of 11 minus the square root of 2 minus the square root of 3. I can draw these combinations, which is unbelievable. In fact, I almost want to say I can draw any irrational number. Well, maybe not. But basically, if n and m are integers, and a and b are integers, I can draw those. I can draw that length. And if a square root of n is bigger than b square root of m, I can draw the difference. I can draw their sums and their differences, which is pretty neat. Okay. The next thing we want to talk about, and actually the last thing for this geometry video, I want to talk about how to construct a triangle. If you're given a triangle, how do you construct one that's exactly the same? If I give you this triangle, how do you construct it? A, B, C. Well, the first thing is let's get AB out of the way. Put your compass needle at A, open the pencil so it touches B. Keeping that, so I'm going to call this A, or A prime. Keeping the same opening, put the compass needle at A, keeping the same opening, put your mark. Well, that's B. Okay, that's B. So basically, what you see now in red, that's not needed. We're not going to use that. Okay, now I want to draw angle A. I want to copy angle A. I want to get angle A. So, and this is not B, but we'll call it B prime. So I go to A, open up my compass needle, and I do like that. I go to A prime, put the compass needle in A prime, and I do exactly the same thing. Okay. Now I put my compass needle here, and I open it enough so it touches there. Now I keep in the same opening, I put my compass needle here, and I do that. Well, this point is that point. It's in the same location. Okay, so with my straight edge, I connect the two dots. And I draw the line at least as long as AC. At least as long as AC. Longer than AC. Now, you know, is C here or here or here? Well, I don't know. How do I find out? Well, the answer is put your compass needle at A and open it so the pencil goes to C. Keep in the same opening, put your compass at A prime and arc. That's C. or in our case C prime. And then just connect C prime with B prime using your straight edge. And you just copied an angle. Let's do it again. Suppose we want to copy ABC. Now nobody said that you can't rotate the triangle. We just want to draw a congruent triangle. Okay, nobody ever said that has to be, not rotated in any fashion. So, to the best of my ability, I'm going to try to draw AB parallel. Call it A prime, B prime. Okay, now, let me pause a moment. I'm going to call this A. I don't know where B prime is yet. Sorry. I go to A. I open up my compass so it touches at B. Keeping the same opening, I put my needle at A prime. And I put my arc, and that's what I call point B, or B prime. Now, I want to say copy this angle. Of course, I can copy this angle, because if I copied angle B, and I drew BC the right length, then I have my triangle. But let us draw angle A. So basically, you put your compass at A, and you draw a little arc. You put your compass at A, and you draw an arc. A prime. Right. Now, you put your compass needle here, which is the same as this point, and you open it up to this. Now you put your compass needle here, keeping the same opening, you go like that. Well, we now duplicated the angle. We just need to duplicate the length of AC. Put your compass needle at A, open up so the pencil touches at C. Do the same on the bottom one. Put your compass at A prime, and put your little arc, and then you say, ah, that's where C prime is. Then one last thing. Connect B prime and C prime. And then you can say that you just reconstructed the angle. Triangle. These two triangles are 100% congruent. Okay, we used real mathematics to draw the same exact triangle with a straight edge and a compass. You don't need a protractor. I mean, protractor, my goodness, that makes it easier. Let's just show how you would do it with a protractor, and that will finish this video. But you don't need a protractor. Well, basically, protractor has a ruler on it. You draw AB the same length. You find out. Now, actually, you can't do it with a protractor. You know why? You cannot read off that angle. The question is, you may look at it and say, come on, it's 60 degrees. Even I see that. Nonsense. You don't see that it's really 59.999358. You don't see that on a compass. But you know what? The construction sees it. The construction sees that, yep, this angle is 59.9999358 degrees. The construction sees it. It sees that this angle is 101.378. When you look on a protractor, you might say, oh, it's 101. The construction sees it exactly. Just using a straight edge and a ruler a straight edge in a compass, it sees more than your protractor sees. Okay, I hope the video was very helpful. If you have any questions, you can give me my email address. It's the math tutoring1@hotmail.com. Okay, good luck studying geometry. It's a fun subject. Thank you.